Hi, welcome to day 12 of the Viewfinder Song Explanations, and the title track of the last compilation I put out, Twisted Rhapsody. Now, even though that compilation is out there, it kind of came out and came and went really, and it was, that particular compilation was really a way of clearing the decks of anything that I had knocking around on my tapes or on my computer, and I wanted them, for completists out there, just to own them. But that record didn't do very well at all, so hence me, putting this compilation out to sort of draw a line under my solo work. But Twisted Rhapsody holds quite a special place for me, really, because it was one of the first songs that I wrote when I moved back down to Bristol after the initial period of being back in Scarborough, and it felt like a bit of a shot in the arm. And I'd started working with a producer called Head, that was his actual name. And he'd worked with a lot of people, including U2 and Polly Harvey, and I was a big fan of his work, and we were working together. And he said, look, send me some demos, some scratchy demos of ideas that you've got, and let me see which ones really stand out. And so I remember sending him some sort of phone, it weren't phone demos, they were little demos that I did on my dictaphone, and I sent them down to him, I think on a CD. I got them converted, and I sent all these little ideas down to him, and he rang me up and he said, the two songs that I really love, which I'd love to work on, are Twisted Rhapsodies and Crush. We'll come on to that later. But Twisted Rhapsodies, in a way, was a reaction to, I think, really a lot of what was going on at the time. I think that's inevitable as a songwriter. You're kind of 9 times out of 10 you're influenced by the past, your record collections and the things that you initially started listening to. But also, I think if you're smart, or you keep your ear to the ground, that's the only way I think you can be smart, really, in this regard, is you react to the times. There's no point. I think you can't help but be influenced by the sounds of music that's happening, and certainly if you're inspired by certain things. And I remember being heavily into Radiohead at this particular point. I'd never really been into the alt rock scene until this point, I think. But Radiohead had brought out that brilliant record, The Bends. And I remember the 2 albums I was listening to at that particular period were Bitter Tasting Pill by Alanis Morissette and The Bends. And I just found that kind of huge landscape that band were able to generate really exciting and really interesting. They reinvented guitar rock in a very unique sort of British fashion. And so really Twisted Rhapsody was kind of my reaction to that. So I wanted to sort of broaden the palette and make it more, more soundscapey and wider. But in terms of what the message means, it's very simple, really. It's a mournful, descriptive tale about a character, which is probably me, I would say, trying to understand the complexities of the world around him, and how art applies to it. And I think really, again, without me really knowing it, I was talking about my own anxiety and stresses about how I was going to get back into the music business and how I was going to write songs again. And so Twisted Rhapsodies really just represents life itself, but through the eyes of an artist. I really enjoyed recording these songs, and it was such a different experience working with Head. He was very laid back about everything. He didn't think technology was important, and he sort of regarded the recording studio as a sort of necessary evil. It wasn't something, I don't think he felt. He said to me, it's about the songs, it's about the artist's performances that matter, and I've never forgotten it. It was a very, very big learning curve working with him.